Welcome to Don't Be Caged by Your Age, Connie Inukai. How are you? I'm so happy you're here to share how you're shattering age-related expectations.
Thank you for having me here. I love the name of your show. Don't be caged by your age. I love that.
This is a great opportunity to find out where you're hailing from and how old you are.
I'm from Maryland and my age is 76 years old.
Listeners, come on, 76 is in the house, along with me at 68. I encourage all of you to age out loud and proud. Embrace it's a privilege to be
Sure.
aging, right?
It
And it
sure
means
is.
the years the universe and the world has had to enjoy you and your presence on the planet. So we're so excited. And listeners, Connie's journey is so fascinating. She spent decades teaching professional writing at the college level at the University of Maryland and Johns Hopkins University. And after retiring from this profession, she became an award winning innovator and entrepreneur. I mean, she solved a problem that folks were willing to pay for with a really cool product she invented. And as you know, I'm a four times founder, including a product based business, and I spent 8 years as a global startup mentor. So, Connie, I have a deep appreciation for everything that you've done. Please share with everyone your invention and how you figured out how to produce it and bring the product to market at the age of 68, I think, without any prior experience.
Exactly. Well, let me just tell you when I was a teacher at the University of Maryland, I taught technical writing to engineers. And I taught there for like 40 years. And every semester, I would give my students 6 projects to work on that would help them with their future career because I would teach them writing, and writing is so important. So I would give them tasks to write about so that when they were ready to, when they were graduating, they were all seniors, they would be sure to get a great job. So one of the first things that they had to do, since they were engineers, was they had to write an instruction manual. And I, in the back of my head, had an idea for an invention. So while they were doing their task, their homework assignment, I started writing my own instruction manual for my product. Okay. And I learned from my students because they were engineers and they were so much smarter than me in engineering. So I wrote an instruction manual. Then for another assignment, I told them, okay, find this company that you want and write a brochure for them about their company.
Oh, this
So
is
what did
so good.
I started writing a brochure for my company. So by the way, after 6 assignments, I had to retire from teaching because I was so ready to launch my new career.
Oh my gosh, talk about leveraging your work profession and the students to
Yeah,
do
you
what you
can
need to
learn
do.
so much.
And it is so important. Professional writing is key. What you're doing, how you're doing it, where you're taking it, all the parts and pieces. And plus, you were working with engineers. So you were getting an understanding of how their brains were wired and how your brain could be wired in a similar way for what you wanted. So, what was this product that you had percolating?
Okay, so I was getting older, and as many people realize, our eyes start getting worse. Our vision starts getting worse and worse, and it never stops, really. And so I really realized this because I would go out to restaurants with my friends, and none of us could read the menu, mainly because the print was too small and the restaurant was too dark.
Right.
So we would pass around reading glasses and go look for a candle to figure out what we wanted to order. Or we would be really lazy and just say, what do you recommend? So I thought that was kind of ridiculous. So I invented this little machine called tip and split. And it's got a magnifier on it. It's got a light on the back, which is not going to interfere with other people. And then I also added a feature, a little calculating device, so you could figure out the tip and split the bill. Because I don't know about you, but when I'm enjoying a dinner with my friends, I don't want to have to start thinking about arithmetic, math.
Oh, are you kidding? I mean, I'm just going to do a shout out to Nancy J, who I know is tuning in to this and saying, okay, is this what you've been looking for your whole life practically? Seriously, what a wonderful idea. But you had to figure a lot out about the parts and pieces.
Right.
I've had an inventory based company, but in your case, you had to figure out the hard case that it comes in, how to get that light to work, how to have calculations. I mean, this is a really complicated process. How did you
Exactly.
figure that out without having, other than you're leveraging the student's brain power? Who helped you,
Well,
and where did you go for resources?
well, for one thing, when you get to be older, we get to be fearless and curious. I think you can relate to that. I
That's
wasn't afraid to fail. I was just trying to learn how to do it. And I was very fortunate because my former husband was an engineer also. So I told him my idea, and he developed all the algorithms to
oh,
figure out how tip and split could work.
Oh my gosh,
Mm.
Connie. See, this
Yeah.
is folks, this is again looking around you and saying, who can help me? Who can use to leverage my own knowledge base to create this product?
Well, he
And
made
how
it
long?
so good. And
And
he used to decide, it was his job. He used to figure out where on earth to put satellites. So for him, this thing was a breeze.
exactly. He goes, oh, yeah, I can do this in my sleep. And then did you get it manufactured here in the US or did you offshore it?
I got a manufacturer in China.
Okay.
Okay.
Talk a little bit about that, Connie.
Well, that was kind of difficult to get a manufacturer. I went through three manufacturers because each one would disappoint me.
Of
As a
course.
matter of fact, everyone disappointed me, but you have to just bear with it.
You
And
do. You keep trying.
as a matter of fact, when I first got my product, I was having it made, and I went to a trade show for inventors, and QVC was there, and I wanted to show my product. And I was the only one of the inventors who had a table and no product because my manufacturer did not deliver it in time.
Well, that's
So
just wrong.
I know. So I went, so they had a booth where you could pitch your product. So I had a picture of it. And I said, this is my product. Unfortunately, I don't have the product with me, but this is what it does. And everybody loved it. They loved the idea of it from my pictures. And they said, well, when you have your product, please come back. So the next year I was back with my
Excellent.
product. And I said, do you remember me? And they said, of course we remember you. We love your product. And they said, well, now I have it. And they put me on QVC. So,
Connie.
so
Okay,
I'm so excited.
listeners, clappers here cheering wildly for Connie. You know,
Mhm.
and I want to encourage listeners, these may seem like insurmountable problems, right? But they aren't. They just take time to figure out. And when you have 40, 50 years of lived professional experience under your tiara or belt, you can figure these things out. There are people you know, there's organizations out there that can help you, like SCORE or accelerator programs that are local and free with the right mentors who can help you. Not everybody has a former husband like Connie that was a smarty pants, but there are smarty pants out there. We have a great organization here in New England that's all about helping people take even their duct tape, toilet paper roll pulled together idea and bringing it to, manufactured completion. And so I'm so excited that you had this experience now. And I know listeners, we're going to go a little bit into the weeds here, but these products just don't come shipped and ready to go. You've got to get them to market. You've got to get consumer interest. You've got to get buyers. Did you get on QVC right away? Had you had a chance to test the product with consumers?
That was kind of my, not really. I got onto QVC and they tested it and I sold it. But what I was trying to do was get visibility. When you have
Yeah,
a product, as you know, you have to find people to buy it. So
right.
I kept hiring public relations teams to get my product out there. I spent so much money
Oh,
and they got me nothing.
oh, Connie.
Absolutely nothing. I mean, they go after us because they know we love our products and we're easy bait.
Right.
So what I did is I got myself on QVC. I got myself on so many places just by writing letters or emails. And what I did, because I'm
And
a retired writing teacher, I wrote a book to help other people who are inventors and don't want to pay for publicity that doesn't work. I wrote a book and it's called How I Got My Product in QVC, The Today Show, The View, and More in my retirement. Because all of this was after I was 70.
oh my gosh, listeners, come on. Everybody better be doing a round of clapping for Connie here. And Connie, thank you for writing that book, taking the wisdom that you gained and shared it right away. Because you and I both know the largest growing group for entrepreneurs is the 60 plus crowd. And, you took all the stumbles and the challenges that you ran into, you compiled it into this wonderful book. And now, folks, I'm going to have the links to Connie's book and to Connie's everything that we're talking about today. So, but in the meantime, please visit Grandmapreneur. That's GRAND, Preneur, PRENEUR.com to learn more about Connie's journey. And be sure to download her outstanding article that's sitting right there on the landing page of her website, 6 Reasons to Pursue Entrepreneurship in Retirement. Because, and I know, Connie, you believe in this, passion and ambition do not have an expiration date. They are ageless. Right, Connie?
Exactly. Exactly. I feel like a kid, sort of like you, right? We're still curious and we can still get excited about things.
Oh
And
my
that's one of the
gosh.
reasons I wrote that article. Actually, that was for Entrepreneur magazine.
Oh,
Um,
okay.
huh?
Published in Entrepreneur magazine. I mean, I think clappers are going to get a workout today. Come, Connie.
Well,
What was it?
not only that, but after I did that, after I wrote that article, I gave a TEDx talk on the same subject because I looked up TEDx and I looked up retirement, and everybody talks about retirement, like how to save money, how
Yeah.
to, what to spend, how to be financially secure. That's not what I'm looking for. I wrote about how to have a lifestyle that you
Right.
want in your retirement. The money's there, or not there, but the fun that you can
Right.
have at being an entrepreneur is unimaginable.
It really is unimaginable. And I've always said to folks, Connie, given my years as a startup mentor, and I had a monthly pitch event here in Boston for founders and everything. I always say, you always win when you launch a business, no matter what happens, because it really is the best personal and professional development program out there. And you're never too old for this. Your brain
Exactly.
loves to do new things, it loves to figure out problems and how to solve it. At this age and stage, you've been solving problems your whole life. Why not, solve a problem for a group of folks who are willing to pay you for solving that problem, whatever that is? And go ahead, Connie.
Well, what I've learned is from my research is that most people, when they retire, after 6 months, they start getting all these diseases.
Yes, they do.
Everything hits them because they're bored and their bodies are open for anything. But when you have a business and the passion, this one of the 6 reasons is it keeps you mentally active all the time. Put
And it gives you a reason to get out of bed. And Connie, you may or may not know this, but in 2021, the World Health Organization came out with a study declaring retirement as an epidemic costing societies billions of dollars for the very reason you stated. You get all this advice about how you can sail around the world and take your money and invest it for your children and do all of these things, but nobody tells you how to stay on purpose because humans need a reason to get out of bed in the morning.
Exactly. So of the 6 reasons, another one is to be social and to be social. Now look at me. I'm having a talk on a podcast with you and with all of your audience rather than just sitting and watching Netflix. Isn't that
Exactly.
social?
And it's very social. And now more people get to know about Connie and you're representing and giving them inspiration and ideas for their own and how to figure this out. And now you've got books for them to read. It's so exciting. And folks who are tuning in, you can become a podcast host if you want. It's very low overhead. I mean, really to start and keep it running with website and everything is under $50 a month. And the biggest expense is your microphone. But also you can become a guest. You can join Podmatch and find out ways to share your brilliance as a guest on podcasts. Podcasts are always looking for guests. And that's another way, Connie, that you just mentioned, where folks can stay socially engaged. It's so
Right.
exciting. What's another of your 6 reasons?
Another one is to give back to the community because when you're retired, you always want to give back. So I love talking to other people about what they can do. And I love talking to people and what can they do to
Right.
give back to their community.
Do you give a lot of speeches, Connie? Do you go around and do
Mhm.
people have you come in and say, "Help us"?
Well, I've done a few Rotary clubs. I'm
Great.
looking to speak because I think that I have a message that people need to hear because nobody talks about it.
No,
People talk about our age. And one of the challenges about being over 60 or over 70 as I am, is that people don't give you credit for being able to do anything.
it's
And I'm trying to debunk that myth
thank you.
because I can't do some of the things that the young people can do with technology. That is true. But I can do some things that they can't do. Okay.
That's right.
And the main thing is I'm fearless. Anyone like you or me, we've been through like rejection all the time. We've had so
Please.
many no's put into our face, but we know that there's always going to be a yes right afterwards.
Absolutely. And listeners, remember when we heard from the wonderful social entrepreneur, Jeanette, whose book is behind me here, Aging Sideways. She shared how you have to have that mix of young brains and older brains to get a level of connection and productivity. It's a wonderful thing to do. And Connie, to that point, uh, earlier this year, I launched a community because I was seeking a community and again, to stay social, to keep involved. And I thought, well, podcasters are so fascinating. We don't have a support group, right, for podcasters here in New England. I'll start the New England Podcasters group, and it might just be me and one other person, right? But so I launched that in May, and we have a thriving monthly meetup now of folks who just can't wait to get together and talk to other folks in their community, the podcasting community, or those who are curious about it. So I'm always encouraging listeners, as you are, to hey, take some idea that you have, pull on that thread. It might be a good fit for you, right?
Hmm. Hmm.
Oh, that's so wonderful. And really,
So
congratulations on
thank you.
launching a product based business. But you also have another book that you've written, which I thought is so wonderful because that's the artistpreneur in us folks when you go and do some kind of creator moment like that. So you have the How I Got My Product on QVC, but now you also have another book called Dream Big, Take Action, Make Money.
Right. This is a book that I wrote to inspire people exactly how to start a business when you're retired. And I actually interviewed 10 people who are retired and doing something totally different from what they had done in their normal career and having the time of their life doing it.
Honey, this is definitely going into the Don't Be Caged by Your Age resource tab on the website, everybody. Okay. Because, and yes, I'll have links in the show notes, but also don't hesitate to visit grandmapreneur.com and take a look. Connie has a wonderful video there talking about, are you dreaming of a retirement that's anything but ordinary? Because as I always end every show with, you have more to give and we want more of what you have to give, right, Connie?
Right.
There's still ideas percolating. Was it hard to publish a book? What experience did you have doing that?
I was a writing teacher, so it was very easy. Okay. I'm organized. I just figured out which chapters I wanted and I just wrote it.
And
And
did you
now
find a publisher or did you self publish?
I self published on Amazon.
And was that
Mhm.
hard? Or did you
Um,
was it hard to find anybody to, turn it into a digital product for you?
no,
Yeah.
not at all. And then I have one more thing that I'm doing now because I sort of put Tip and Split on hold, mainly because of the pandemic.
Yeah.
the restaurants were closed and my product was for dining out.
Right.
And I decided I had to do something else, something that people could do at home without going out to restaurants. So even though we can go out to restaurants now, my project is still going on. And this is like my new, I'm always trying to reinvent myself. So my newest product is actually a service. I help people write their life story. I have to give their legacy to grandchildren and future generations. I have 7 grandchildren, and I want them all to know all about me after I'm gone. And I got this idea actually when a celebrity dies, like when Kobe Bryant died.
Oh,
I felt,
devastating.
so sad because he died with his daughter, but he also had a young child at home. But that child is going to know all about him, and all of his future generations are going to know about him because of his social presence.
Right.
Everybody knows about him, but who's going to know about little old me
Right.
unless I tell them? So I put down everything that I want my grandchildren and future generations to know in a book. This is a book of me. I
Oh
want them
my
to know
gosh.
that grandma used to be a little kid once, and I made this book so it's very easy to read, and it's even easier to write. I made it out of pictures. In the olden days, we used to have photo albums, not just
Right.
albums.
I love that, Connie. In the olden days. Now, come on. It was just like a 10, 12, 15 years ago. Yes,
Right. So what I did is I went through my old photo albums, and I'm going to show you my favorite.
okay.
This is a picture of my grandparents. Can you see it?
Oh, yes,
And
I sure can. And
every
folks, remember, come watch the video on YouTube if you're listening to the audio so you can see these.
every every picture has a caption which shows what the picture's about. And in this picture, the caption says, Grandma Ella and Grandpa Arthur moved to the United States in 1912. They missed the ship over to the United States because Grandma was pregnant and had morning sickness. The ship they missed was the Titanic. Isn't that
Oh
something? I
my,
didn't even know that. My mother never told me.
oh my gosh, Connie.
Yeah, so imagine my oldest grandchild is 12 years old. He always loved reading about the Titanic. And now he knows that if my grandma had been on the Titanic, we might not have been here.
No, your line would not have made it. Oh my gosh, Connie. I love that story. And listeners, when you see, or viewers, I should say, when you hop on over to YouTube and watch the video version of the podcast, the cover of Connie as a little sweet little pumpkin there. Connie, your face hasn't changed at all. I see you completely in that little girl. It's so
Thank you.
adorable.
Thank you.
And
So
so you help people create a book like this for
yes,
themselves?
and what I do is I try to bring out the pictures to show something they want to leave to their future generations. I'm going to give you one more example that people can see on the YouTube.
Okay.
It's a picture of my family on our boat. Can you see this picture? It
Yes,
has
yeah,
so many kids.
right?
Yeah. In this picture, there were 5 of us, and we called our boat on Lake Erie Dr. Skakel. And that's named after my parents, David, Rebecca, and then Sharon, Connie, Ezra, Chicky, Louie. And when they had one more child, we all took a vote. We were all young kids. We decided we had to call him Eddie so we could keep the same name of our boat, just have an E after it. So that's a story I tell my grandkids, and I bring up memories of my life
Oh.
growing up.
And Connie, first of all, this is so important because a lot of people think they'd like to do this, but they don't know how, they don't know where to start. So you've
Right.
given them this opportunity to start. Everybody visit grandmapreneur.com so you can go. It's just a tab right there on the website so that you just click on the tab that says write your selfie and she'll take you right to what you need to do. But Connie, this is even more important for when sometimes our ability to recall is no longer there. And when we have, any type of mental decline, dementia, whatever however it shows up, this is also good for the caregivers because they can look through and recall and treat you as the individual
Right.
you
Exactly.
are.
Exactly. So I absolutely love doing this. And one of the reasons I do it is because I have credentials as being a writing teacher,
That's
you
right.
know? So it's right there. Although it's not mostly writing, it's mostly creativity and thinking. I help people find their Titanic moments
Oh
as
my,
they write their story.
oh my
And
gosh.
let me tell you one more thing, Andy,
Yeah.
for your viewers. Okay. I wrote one more book.
Woo! There's no stopping Connie.
No,
You know that
because I
song, Ain't
like
No
it.
Stopping Us Now? That's Connie.
It's so much fun. I wrote a book on how to write your selfie. I call it Write Your Selfie
Right.
because young people always take selfies, which are
That's right.
pictures. And this book is all about old people don't write selfies, but we have pictures. So this is all about that. So if anybody wants to sign up from you and give me your name, I will send them this book that tells them they don't even need me. They can learn exactly how I wrote my book.
Oh my gosh. Listeners, okay, this is what Connie decided to do when she, quote, retired. All right. She didn't go out to the pasture. As you know, pastures are for horses. And you have created so much for the world, for those of us that are over, in our Renaissance years, which is 55 to 80 now, I guess is what they're calling it. I am so grateful for that. And especially the legacy part, because with grandkids, Gen Zs, young millennials, they're living life a different way than we grew up, right?
Mhm.
And so a picture book, which is very easy to produce, right? Do you have them uploaded somewhere and
I
how do you
help
get it?
them do everything. I help
Oh,
them with every little step of the way, or they can just write to you and
right.
write to me
And get a free copy of how to do it
and say,
yourself,
yeah, they can do it themselves.
a
Mhm.
DIY.
Uh-huh.
And,
Right.
look, folks, I am all about hiring people to help because a lot of times you have the information inside you, but you need that prompt. You need that person who has fresh eyes to pull things out, to ask those probing questions. So it's a lot easier. But I love that you also offer the DIY opportunity as well, Connie.
Right.
Oh
So
my,
I love what I do, and I call myself Grandmapreneur because I have 7 grandchildren and 3 of them live with me.
no kidding. Oh
Right.
my gosh, aren't they lucky?
I'm lucky. I'm lucky. I do everything of my business before 3 o'clock when they come home from school.
Oh, and Connie, you may recall, I mean, where I live, the part of the world I live in, folks, is the Boston, greater Boston area. We have 2 family homes, 3 family homes. We all remember how families lived together. And that intergenerational connection is so important that we talk to others from other generations, we collaborate, we help, we raise, help raise the kids, add our love to their lives, everything. And thank you, Connie, for being such a great mom and a great grandmapreneur. Let's talk just a little bit more about entrepreneurship after 60 because it can feel daunting, everyone. But there's so many easy step-by-step ways you can get Connie's book. Will you say it again, Connie, the book that you have to help people start a business?
Retirement. Dream big, take action, make money.
Right.
One thing that I always suggest is SCORE, because you mentioned SCORE before. I go to SCORE. I love my SCORE mentor. His name is Ed Coleman, and
Hey,
I'm probably older than he is. SCORE is retired volunteers who used to be in business and help other people. Well, even though I'm old, I'm new at being an entrepreneur. Okay. So I
that's
feel
right.
like I still need mentorship.
Well,
So
you
they
also need a fresh set of eyeballs on your business to see
Mhm.
things that you might not be seeing, right?
So with SCORE, he helps me so much. And I didn't even think that of what he helped me with. But the first thing he said is, write a business plan. And I thought everybody says write a business plan, but what does that mean? And he said, write a business plan. You can find out how to do it on SCORE and I'll look at it. And so I wrote one and he fixed it all up. And
Nice.
then I talked to him again this year. And I said, I'm trying to develop a speaking business and write your selfie and tip and split. He says, you need 3 business plans, Connie. You need one for tip and split. You need one for write your selfie, and you need another one for speaking. Because what it does is it gives you a plan. It's called a business plan. It gives you a plan of what you should do so you can
That's right.
go along. So I highly encourage everyone to check out SCORE.
Yes, check out SCORE and also check out the business map. It's a wonderful book and it shows you the map that you need to create in order to pull a business together. SCORE is wonderful, folks. Just score.org right there in Google and you'll find them. Oh, Connie, this is so wonderful. And reflecting back on your life as a younger woman in your 40s and 50s, is this how you envisioned you'd be thriving in your 70s?
Had no idea.
Right.
I had no idea. As a matter of fact, when I hit 50, I was so sad. 50 sounded like I was becoming old.
I
And
know.
I felt like that, but I was still working. When I became 60, I felt even older. But you know what? Now that I'm 70, I feel fantastic. Just as you said, I feel so lucky because here I am, 70, and with a fresh look at my life and
Right.
still thinking about what I'm going to do next.
Oh, it's so exciting. I want to encourage anyone listening. Entrepreneurship doesn't have to be hard. It can be so fulfilling. And just think of what you're going to learn by pulling on threads and ideas. And it may not be what you first thought it was going to be. It might turn into something else, or you might start on something and go, nope, that isn't working. But it percolates another idea. Just go for it and try it out. There is no fail, there's only learn. And you're going to learn so much about yourself while you're doing it. And if you are interested, you'll be sure to leave notes in the comments. Reach out to Connie. Clearly, she's there to help you. You can see right here on the ticker tape going by in the video, but also in the show notes, how to find her and connect with Connie and pursue your passions because there's no expiration date on passion or ambition. Connie, any last words to folks to help them thrive after 65?
Yeah, I'd say so because I think the one obstacle people may get is people might say, why are you doing this? Why don't you just relax and, enjoy your retirement? I say, run away, run away. Go to people who encourage you to keep doing what you're doing.
Absolutely. Why stop? Isolation and not having purpose when you get out of bed, really, for 9 out of 10 humans, that results in a very poor condition in life. So, Connie, thank you so much for sharing your delicious vibes and all your wonderful stories and how you're serving the world at the young age, as we probably shouldn't say because that's an ageist remark, at the wonderful age of 76. Thank you
Thank
so
you. Thank
much.
you for having me here. I love what you do.
Oh,
Okay.
thank you so much. And listeners, remember, you have so much to give. Don't let those internalized ageist beliefs prevent you from pursuing new dreams and opportunities, no matter what age you're at.
Right.
66, 76, 86. There's more that you can give the world. We're here for you. Don't be caged by your age. Hop on over there, join the newsletter, and find the resources because I'll be adding Connie's books now to the resources and find ways to help you thrive after 65. And until next time, I'm wishing you a delicious day everywhere you glow. Cheers from Boston. Bye, everyone.
I thank you.
Listeners, I'm so grateful you carved out time to tune in and grab the gems from this delicious conversation. Be sure to hop on over to Don't Be Caged by Your Age on LinkedIn or Instagram to share your thoughts about ageism and unretirement. Because in this space, your age doesn't define you, it refines you. If you are inspired by a story you hear, it would mean the world to me if you would subscribe, share, rate, and review the podcast. To receive an alert whenever a new show is posted, please join the Don't Be Caged by Your Age newsletter. Every month, you'll receive links to the podcast and helpful resources for creating possibilities for your unretirement days. Thank you for tuning in. I am so excited to hear how you found ways to thrive after 65. Waving from Boston, cheers.